Welcome to another episode of Home Sweet Home. My name is Rod McCall.
And I'm Scott Nichols. We're more than halfway the season.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Where are we taking it today?
Well, so I've been giving some thought to what makes relationships work, especially those that last a long time. And I thought, well, holy cow, who better to address that than you? So
Wow.
I thought I would bounce some things off of you and see kind of how you relate to this.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Relationships are tough. Relationships are work. And the idea that you can just, make it through 30, 40, 50, 60 years of life together with your significant other without any conflict, without any problems, without any issues, well, that's fantasy.
Okay.
And so I've been doing a variety of things and exploration. And so I thought I got a list. Well, I don't know, maybe not a list, but I got some ideas. And I thought that given that you and Eileen have over 30 years of relationship together, I paired this off of my parents who were over 60 years of marriage. And so I'm going to throw them at you, and you tell me what you think based on your experience. Will that work?
That sounds great.
All right. So one of the things that I think, and again, some of this is based on my experience with a failed marriage, don't ignore the small thing. When something is something that's bothering you, and if it's a small little thing, just address it, like how you load the dishwasher. You know what I'm saying? Because if you let something, you just, whatever, and you ignore it, and that little annoyance can grow and manifest into something large and horrific and monstrous, and now you've gone from a small little molehill to a massive rocky mountain.
I think that we have a kind of a don't want.
Okay.
And while that may not be practical, everything, because sometimes they're large to smooth over, but I kind of come at but a lot of these that you're talking about are just things that, are easily taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are we? It was time to go. And your hair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that really a big today? It's late. I mean, it's probably not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people get in fights. I think the problem really, if you don't fix that quickly, there's going to be another little and another little and another little. And before you know it, your 10 little things have turned into huge.
And that's kind of where I was going with this idea. Because when you do something that makes me less than happy,
mm-hmm.
Again, it's a little thing, but it builds a little bit of resentment. And that resentment, well, it's not very big because it's not a very big deal.
Sure.
Yes, you were running behind because of something. All right. You were running behind. You didn't get started getting ready early enough, or you were, whatever the issue might be. And you're right. In the grand scheme of global affairs, it's not a big thing. And you're running a couple of minutes late. But that can lead to resentment.
Yeah.
And it can, as you said, it can grow. And I know that in my first marriage that was well documented as an epic fail, there were lots of things that I did not address when they were little. And so they manifested and grew out of control and became horrible monsters.
Right.
And so I think that that's why I pitched it to you as, if we're going to, for you and Eileen to have had such I'm going to call it a strong, successful relationship.
Sure, I would classify.
And part of it is you keep things small.
Yes. I mean, definitely try to. It's a matter. I see this a lot of the small things, and of course, we got married, everything. So as you get a lot easier, and your perspective. But what I did learn over time is a lot of the small things that I would be frustrated with have more to do with me than with her.
Okay,
it's more of me and my frustration. If she's not doing that, look good, feel good, those kind of things. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's a matter of, why am I frustrated with it?
Oh,
don't I want her to look good? Don't I want her to feel good? And so I shouldn't be. I mean, we can have a conversation, but that's irrelevant at the moment. And, that's it for a future thing. But for me to go on the attack or to get visibly frustrated or worse solves nothing. And it doesn't move the mother forward. It puts it all or worse. And so the matter of really looking at those smaller me, why do I feel that way? And what can I fix me so that I don't, it's really not a big deal to be.
Well, true.
We're not talking about a job interview, or something like that.
You're right. And dinner with friends, things happen. Traffic is an issue. So, no, I'm with you. I am a firm believer. I was raised this way, that to be early is to be on time is to be late, and to be late is unforgivable. And for me, it's a big pet peeve.
Sure.
But at the same time, you have to put things into context of, what are you doing? Where are you going? At the end of the day, is it that big a deal? Which then brings me to another idea that I had, and that is, do you guys keep score when you're having a fight or a disagreement? We may not even call it a fight. We'll just call it a disagreement or an argument. Do you keep score?
I would have no idea from my perspective. I don't think of my
And that's what I was thinking of. That how many times when you are in a relationship with somebody, you have an argument, and that argument kind of becomes a tit for tat, a retaliatory response, and you have moved far away from what you're talking about, and now we're into, well, I'm going to one-up you because I have to win this argument.
Sure.
And now it becomes more on winning the argument than actually addressing the issue or resolving the problem that started the whole conversation that manifested and grew into a massive argument or fight. And so, because I can say that when I was married to Eric's mother, especially those last several years, a lot of our fights, and they were fights, would come down to, in my mind, looking back, I don't know that it was a conscious thing at the time, but looking back, I go, yeah, I was keeping score. I got tired of her always coming across, or my impression was she was always winning.
Right.
And I'm going, no, I'm going to win some of these, dang it. I'm going to get the last word, and I don't care what it takes. Well, when that becomes the mindset, I had forgotten everything about what I was trying to do.
Sure.
Which was address a small issue that I had not addressed when it was small. It had become a medium to large size problem. And anyway, I look back and I'm going, if you're going to have an argument, it's about resolution, not who wins. Yeah. And I like the way you said, if the relationship wins, what else matters?
Right.
And so I like that. So I'm going to try and remember that so I can use that again, because I think that is a key thing to remember. Sure.
I mean, I take the vows, and we took but I take those about us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, I'm not saying individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But we are a team, so our individuality is erased, and therein lies. However, we need to respect that, still work together. Sometimes that requires some change, and sometimes it's expect
and that, I think, is something that happens a lot, and that is. And tell me, I mean, you've got 3 kids. If it didn't happen with you, you can refer back to your kids. But how many times in a relationship, and this is another issue I was thinking of, how many times in that relationship you invest 100% into the relationship and you lose yourself. You stop being Scott Nichols and you become the male partner to Eileen, and it is now the Scott and Eileen show, not two actors working in concert. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Because I can say that when I was first dating Eric's mom,
Okay.
I was heavy into her.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I had done this. The things that made me Rod, playing softball with the guys on a co-ed team, that fell away because, well, she was going, she didn't like me playing softball. And I go, well, play with us. Well, I ain't going to play. Well, okay. Well, then she got upset, and I felt like I was a competition. And I'm going, okay, well, I'll give up the softball. And then I had some friends growing up, lifelong friends that we were we go all the way back to elementary and middle school.
Wow.
And she was going, well, you need to have an adult grown-up relationship. That's your child.
Okay.
And so I kind of pushed them off to the back burner. And I felt like, if she wasn't front, so I was doing everything to put her front and center, and I was losing who I was. And I felt led to some resentment because it's kind of like, well, I like doing these. I like, hanging out with friends. And I just wonder how many times do you actually lose your individual identity to become part of something else?
I think, early on, we probably did. I think volleyball, I spent my time more, liked most of them, and I got to do what I wanted to do, and she was mostly home. So I think she kind of lost out on, as time went on, we tried to do things together, and some of those things are things. So, I don't know the best way to go about that. You want to give that space to try to take part. The thing that go to the, if you don't want to play the softball, show up at the game and root them on.
And
yes. And, just be a part of it and to affirm it. And, we have to remember that the person that we got together with, presumably we fell in, there's a reason. And I think that part of the issue in relationship, why?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a great meme, the honeymoon never away. And that can be the case if you remember why. Yeah. Right. And I often remember back to, I met some of the things that we did occasionally, so those are things that, I think that makes her feel good. Realize.
I will say that with Sherry now, she is fine with me pursuing the things that I enjoy. For example, our doing the podcast. She has no desire to be a guest on the podcast, to participate in front of it. She listens to basically every episode. Sometimes we'll listen to them together. Mm-hmm. She'll ask questions. She'll make comments, observations. So on the backside, she'll support, but she goes, that's you. You do that. I play my Magic the Gathering with the guys, and she's saying she's fine with that. She doesn't want to learn to play, says I don't really care, but she'll support my habit, I guess you could say, because it's kind of it's an expensive hobby. I play Dungeons and Dragons with another group of friends, and she's fine with that. She has no desire to learn how to play, doesn't want to play.
Well, and I don't know how much of that do you think is related to the fact that being in a second marriage later in life, you're maybe respectful.
I don't know.
Because I think when you get married young, like we did, a lot of times it doesn't work out because they don't respect you.
And I think that's where I was going ultimately with this, that you can be the two of you. You can be that couple, but if you're the couple 100% of the time, then where are you the individual?
Sure.
And so I think that finding that happy medium is, if I hear you right, and my thought is, it would help make for a healthy, longer-lasting relationship. Now, another thing that had popped in my mind was, and I know that this was a problem, and again, a lot of these came from why these ideas resonated with me is because of my failed marriage with Eric's mom. But frequently she would compare us to other couples. And I see that potentially as a negative.
All's partner to with the Joneses, and like that person, I want this person. Be you and be your relationship out. You can't fix the course.
Yeah. And that's kind of why when I like this idea or stuck with this idea, because a lot of times Eric's mom would try and compare us. And when it was compare, it's, can we be better? Well, we need to be better. Not only keep up with the Joneses, but be a half step ahead.
Sure.
And that led to financial ruin for us as a couple or as a family. And it just strikes me as a recipe. Well, it's a way to set yourself up for failure. And in looking back, I go, it did. And I will say that Sherry and I don't know that we compare ourselves to anybody.
That's
and good. So, but
I think that's easier.
Okay.
Than it is particularly couples. And I think there's a lot more competition for things. You get older, you have to carry a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I think that as you get older, that's the younger people, if you're in early part of your marriage, you need to stop pairing yourself. Now, I'm not saying don't there's things you can fix in your relationship and you want to help you out and you can listen to, but you shouldn't be like just sitting and thinking relationship you don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know you don't know how good or bad. You just don't know. I mean, there's plenty of people, a lot of people say it's not true. So you just don't know. I can say that about our relationship and you have no idea.
Well, yeah, because I don't spend all my time hanging out with you.
Right.
And so therefore I'm just taking it on face value. And if you're going to depend on what people are posting on social media, well, that's even more crazy. That's even less of a true check on reality.
Right.
Because, social media, it's kind of like pictures. Mm-hmm. People are going to smile and indicate that they're having a good time in the pictures. And they're going to potentially fake it. And if you're going to base everything on a commercial or a social media post and go, well, they're happy, why can't we be happy like them? Well, if we had what they had, we'd be happy.
Right. That's no different than magazines, movies, television. I mean, all throughout the years, we've seen these things portrayal absolute success and happiness in all these mediums, which is hardly ever the case. I mean, just look at rich people, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're constantly getting paid, having trouble with kids. Don't tell me that that's a happy life.
They can have all the money and success.
It doesn't really matter. You people you'll be happy. And you don't have to worry about do you.
And I learned that the hard way. Because like I said, Eric's mom liked to compare us to other people.
Yeah.
And I think back and I'm going, that probably created more problems than it solved.
I mean, there's a few things that definitely cause some problems, probably the thing that I can think of.
Yeah.
I would put, because comparison leads.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see
automatically comparing it. Most people aren't comparing and saying, well, most people are comparing at what they have. Well, that's leading to, as soon as you start being, just stay away from, and money could be connected to that, can cause some of that. Stay away from that.
Well, something else that I noticed my parents did, and this is something I try to be way more conscious of with Sherry, and that is showing affection.
Yes.
My mom and dad, they held hands. Whenever they were out in public, they would hold hands. Whenever they would say hello to each other, at the end of the day, say goodbye. Whenever Dad would go off to work or whatever, come home from work or for lunch, he would always say hello and give my mom a kiss. And, in the pickup truck Dad had, it was a bench seat. And so you would always see Dad and then Mom, and she would be sitting right next to him. And sometimes it'd be us kids sitting next to the door.
Sure.
But even after us kids were gone, it would still be Dad driving, Mom in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think to my relationship with Eric's mom, there wasn't a lot of that.
Yeah.
She didn't like public displays of affection. And I mean, I don't know how holding hands could be seen that, but I don't know. How about you and Eileen?
Some people feel that way. You know, I've made it a point hold hands a lot in a mall or we're walking. We definitely good morning. There's a lot of affection. I think that we definitely shy away.
Yeah.
What I've noticed is that if I back away from that, she actually okay because you're not being as definitely it's something.
Okay.
So I mean I think it's important, and again I think this goes back to that honeymoon's away for. And reiterate it, keep at it. It's work, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's like it's something that you have to do, but it's enjoyable. So
it should be
sort of like when they say find something you love to do in your life.
Yeah.
So I found the seemingly at it, but you have to remember they have feelings.
And because I think sometimes I don't know, maybe it's just me, but a misconception is it has to be hot and heavy sex. And I'm going, to me, that's a tiny little piece of it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm saying, like you and I were saying, affection is holding hands out in public.
Yeah.
And, just the little things. And because it communicates that physical touch is, I think, super important. And
I think the sex life gets better if you have all the rest of the stuff going.
Okay.
And I don't think that the sex life is for most women a deal.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's an emotional side. It's different but you want to express that.
And I think that's a key part to helping make that relationship last for a much longer time than a couple of weeks, couple of months.
I mean, the bottom line is, are you win, right? I mean, are you win? Is your relationship for both of you?
No, and I like that you say that, and I like that. I don't know that, but anyway, the last thing I want to talk about, and this ties into something else that we talked about earlier about ignoring small issues, is don't be afraid to have that difficult conversation. Talk about the thing that is causing a few issues.
Yes.
So
don't shy away. Yes, definitely. You don't want to back away from the hard thing. Right. You have to take them head on. And if you're doing all the other things we've talked about, taking that head on isn't going to be as hard. And you're going to end up coming back to, we can resolve this. We can have our relationship when we can.
Well, it helps.
I don't think the hard things are actually that hard.
Yes, because
they are if you ignore them.
Okay, that's exactly where I was going to go.
Like if you ignore your taxes and you don't file them, eventually it's going to come back and bite you.
True.
And so if you ignore the hard things in your relationship, it will come back and bite you.
Well, as we've said many times before, you don't get into a relationship for it to end. You get into it with the idea that, hey, this very well could be the last one I am ever in. Have that last first kiss kind of thing. And I will say that it is a challenge. It is work to have a healthy relationship, but it is so much more rewarding. So anyway,
all right.
Well, I appreciate it. I thank you for your insight. And may 30 years become 60 years.
Yeah, we're working on, what is it, 30, we're in 33 right now. So.
Okay. Well, Sherry and I celebrated number 9, and we're thinking about doing something big for number 10 next year. So
that's awesome.
So,
that's
yeah.
Awesome. I mean, can you get bigger than Hawaii or Alaska?
I don't know.
I mean,
well, I'll try.
Give it a try, but this time go by yourselves. Hint,
yes,
Sherry.
Yes.
All right.
Fair enough. All right. Well, until next time, I'm Rod.
I'm Scott.
See ya.
Bye-bye.